I said today that we were not going to talk about politics. When we sit zazen, we don't think about politics or much at all. In our Sangha, we sometimes say that we leave the politics at the Zendo door. But that's not because we don't care. Rather, it's because we know that somehow in silence, instilling the thoughts, a different kind of wisdom and light appears that shines upon all the politics and other problems. And it's presented in a very different way. Oh, there's a time to argue about things we believe in, things we truly oppose. You should see me on other parts of the internet. I get in there. I've lost a couple of friends recently because our opinions, or they thought my opinions, couldn't mesh with theirs. I've been called some names. I have opinions. I voted. But when we sit, there's a reason not to think about politics. And that's what Master Dogen spoke of, non-thinking. Dropping the divisions and the me and you, the right and wrong for a time, and a very special light shines through it all. It's not just that we learn to see it in a different perspective of time. You know, what's going on perhaps in some country on some particular day seems very large, and it is to the people concerned. I'm not saying to ignore it, but when we step back, we see that in the whole history of that place, in the whole history of humankind, in the entire course of evolution of the planet, the stars, billions of years. Well, it's just a passing moment. When we step back even more, beyond time and beyond place and beyond me and beyond you, there is no fight. There is no conflict. And that peace and lack of conflict somehow shines through all thoughts of this win and lose, me and you, right and wrong time. So that's why we sit zazen, not to ignore, but to see it in new light, boundless light, timeless light, with a certain peace and goodness that shines through all disputes, all tensions. It's not only for politics. When I was in the hospital with my sickness, I put it down for a time, and that light would shine, the very same light. And somehow my problem was not so big. In fact, it was boundless. It was totally, I sometimes say, the big okay. Small worries in my own life, the same. When you put them down, they shine as boundless. Well, it's true for societies and nations too. And we can see what's going on because we know how to be silent for a time. It's not because we don't care. We do care. But someone who truly cares must go to work in the world with a heart that is peaceful and still, nonviolent, but dedicated. So we can get back to the world and get back to supporting and marching for and voting for what we think is right. But let's do it from that same boundless, timeless peace deep in our heart that lets us encounter it all in a very, very different way. With the silence. Let's return to that silence right now. Let's just sit.